Welcome to tonight's program from our second graders. Sing me a story about the weather. As these children worked on this, we found out that there's not a lot of factual songs about weather, and so they have written some on their own. So we're so excited that we can do this for all of Fulton County and everyone to see. And so here we are to perform Sing Me a Story About the Weather.
Part of the science? Weather is a part of science, but we can read and learn many stories about the weather. A story about weather is called nonfiction. The second grade classes have completed research on several topics that are part of the study of weather. They are not just here to tell you about the weather, we have some songs that teach us about the weather. But in order to sing you a story about weather, we had to do some songs written ourselves. So let's get on with our story by singing the songs. There's Weather Out There by John Riggio.
Cloudy, freezing rain, and sometimes clear blue skies.
song tells us about the water cycle. The water cycle is a big part of weather. It is a journey water takes as it goes from the land to the sky and back again. Please listen to the song Water Cycle, written by the students in Mrs. Banks' class to the tune of the folk song Buffalo Gals.
1, 2, 3.
Is something that is part of our weather. We cannot see it, but we can see the effects of the wind as we watch trees and other things blow around. Strong winds are almost always a part of big storms. This song does not tell us facts about the wind, but it does tell about the favorite things to do on a breezy day. We are featuring second graders Aiden Jager, Lucas Inyard, Xavier Chapman, and AJ Schwartz as the song Let's Go Fly a Kite.
Let's go fly,
Our sun is an important part of the weather. The sun is the nearest star to the earth. It is made of very hot gases. We can feel the warmth of the sun here on the earth, even though it would take us 3 years to get to the sun using a rocket or spaceship. The sun not only heats up the earth, it also helps plants grow, and this heat helps to evaporate water from the earth as part of the water cycle. Our next song is about the sun. It is written by the students in Mrs. Wortley's class. It is written to the tune of American folk song, Alabama Gal.
Why did the weather ask for privacy? It wanted to change. What did the North Pole say to the equator? You're hot stuff. Why did the wind finish the test before everyone else? She thought it was a breeze. What falls but never gets hurt? I don't know what falls but never gets hurt. The rain.
All kidding aside, our next song tells us about the seasons. Well, really more about how the seasons and weather affect how we feel. For example, when we get those fresh, warm breezes in the spring, it really puts a spring in my step. The students in Mrs. Malco's class learned a lot about the different clouds. Clouds are bunches of water droplets that float in the sky. They can be found in different layers on the atmosphere. High clouds are wispy and very light and hairy. The clouds found in the middle of the atmosphere are alto clouds, or alto cumulus. Sometimes the low clouds get so low it touches the ground. We call that fog. If nimbus is part of the cloud's name, that means that the cloud carries precipitation. Cumulus nimbus clouds are the really big clouds. They're sometimes called thunderheads. The song called Clouds was written by Mrs. Malco's class. They wrote it to the tune of the Australian folk song Taba Nawa. All precipitation is some form of water that falls from the sky. What kind of precipitation we see depends on the temperature of the air. This song called Precipitation was written by Mrs. Anderson and Mrs. Musselman's classes to the tune of Tidy-O. This is another American folk song, so we have to do another folk dance. When Mrs. Ramsey and Mrs. Schuyler's classes researched storms, they found the most important information is to know what to do when a storm is coming. If you listen to the experts, often you have time to get prepared. Our next song was written to the tune of She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain. Storm is Coming, written by Mrs. Ramsey and Mrs. Schuyler's classes, will tell you how to be prepared for the next storm that comes our way. The storm we were most curious about is blizzard-type weather. We had to do a special song just for the blizzard. No matter what your beliefs are when it comes to global warming, we have learned that in order to help our Earth, we must all be good stewards of the Earth by recycling and helping to keep our environment clean. As part of our story about weather, we wanted to share this song, Stewards of the Earth, featuring Macy Whitman.
I
to an end, even one about the weather. We hope you've learned a lot about the weather like we have. We also know that there is not much that we can do to control the weather, but no matter what the weather might be, we can make the best of it and have it a zippity-doo-dah day. We hope each day is a zippity-doo-dah day.